I have the feeling we're going to get some early game fireworks here. It's 23 against 29 workers. That's 20 Zerglings in production for our Korean Zerg, Dongre-gu. And I hope for the great Jonas Sutala that he's going to morph a couple of the Zerglings he's currently got out on the map into Banelings. Because if he doesn't, Lowko, isn't Serral just in trouble here?
Yeah, he's definitely going to need some Banes. He's got a couple of Queens, obviously, but losing the third base would already be a decent amount of damage here for DRG. DRG is obviously committing to this quite hard. Yeah, kind of forcing Serral into some two-base shenanigans right now. No, he's not going to be able to break the natural.
No, he's not. This is kind of funny, right? Because now Serral is still 8 workers ahead.
Yeah.
But he's obviously down at base. And now Serral's like, you know what? I'll just fire up a lair then. I'll drop a Roach Warren. And even though this is not the biggest map. Oh, Banelings coming in from the high ground. Dongre-gu obviously was not able to see that, but he did pull away in time.
This is where those server changes also are very impactful, right? So obviously it's Korea versus Europe in ZVZ. These Ling Bane battles with like 100 plus ping for the both of them are very tricky. Yeah, well, that was not ideal movement at all for DRG. Losing a whole chunk of his army. Serral's now going to be able to retake the third.
Do you think Serral could like potentially knight his Roach?
He could do anything, really. He could even go Mutas. Could go into +1. Well, maybe not. Yeah, he's going Mutas. Okay.
Yeah.
Thought maybe +1 Carapace even, but that would be a little bit late. Yeah, he's got a couple of good options.
Baneling connecting there with a couple of Zerglings. Overall, I mean, it's just kind of an awkward game for Dongre-gu, where it's like, sure, you gotta kill that hatchery, but normally you want to kill that hatchery, but then you also want to see your opponent really do their absolute best in trying to keep it alive, right? Or force a cancel is what I mean, obviously. But so it's just kind of like, okay, you made a lot of links, I'll cancel my hatch, and now I still have more drones than you. Let's take it from here. And now Serral has just kind of been economically ahead all game, every game. Dongre-gu trying to surround the queens there, but Serral, his Baneling says, not today. Dongre-gu's in trouble, man.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to make a lot of units right now. There is going to be this timing window, obviously, where DRG could still get some work done, and he does decide to move across.
Yeah. I mean, Dongre-gu's mining a lot of gas in the natural as well, so he's obviously ultra committed, and I think he kind of knows it. He's like, Serral may not be a Muta guy, but I still feel Mutas are on the way here. It's just so likely. So Dongre-gu is going to try to kill Serral right here, right now. If it works, it's awesome. We've got a competitive best of 5 on our hands. If this attack does not kill Serral, Dongre-gu is in all sorts of trouble. But he does have 52 army supply. That's a lot of army supply, Lowko, to be totally fair.
Yeah. So there's a couple Mutas coming up right now. Only 4. Queens actually decide to transfuse it. Yeah, there's 8 spine crawlers here.
That's a lot of spine crawlers.
Okay, he decides to blow up a couple. I don't like this move too much, though.
Oh, that's 3 spine crawlers.
Yeah, that was actually really nice, then.
Yep, not too bad. Queens are going to try to buy some time, but all the roaches of Dongre-gu are going to make it into the natural. Banelings are going to show up as well, but once more, Dongre-gu needs more than just a couple of drones. He needs all the drones, maybe even the Spire, because the Spire is in the natural. At this point, only 7 drones have gone down. This is not enough for Dongre-gu. He needs more, and I think he knows that he needs more.
+1 melee is done as well for Serral. It's going to make these Zerglings quite a bit more powerful. He just needs to clean all of this up, and obviously there's nothing here for DRG that actually shoots up.
He needs more, Lowko.
Yeah, he definitely does need more kills for now. He's starting to kill a couple of workers. Reinforcements have also shown up, but I mean, that's where that +1 melee is so powerful here for Serral.
Yep, this is where Lings are really going to rule the ground, and obviously Mutas are going to be superior in the sky. Seems like Dongre-gu is going to be able to take out the hatchery in the natural.
If you can take out this one as well, this could actually still stabilize for him.
Yeah, and obviously there's still a lot of Zerglings out on the map, so these Lings can possibly keep the Mutas at home. Dongre-gu gets 2 out of 3 bases. And even though it's 33 drones against 33 drones, yeah, now suddenly it's 3 bases against 1. How much anti-air does Dongre-gu have at home, though? He barely has any.
Yeah.
There are 10 Mutas, but obviously if the Mutas fly to the other side of the map, does Serral have enough at home? That's kind of the big question now. Dongre-gu is playing a crazy game. He's not making any spore crawlers whatsoever. He's just saying, all right, I'm going to use my links to keep you at home, Serral.
Yeah, it almost felt like a second like he was ready to give up the third. He already pulled a lot of units away from there. Now the Mutas have shown up. Serral also anticipating spores, by the way. He's like, okay, well, you're high enough level. There has to be a bunch of spores out. At the same time, oof.
This is so crazy because Dongre-gu literally had 1 spore crawler.
Yeah. That's very dangerous. And Mutas could have gone into the main base. There's not even a queen there.
Yeah, there's nothing in the main. So Dongre-gu is going to run into the natural of Serral, where there isn't a whole lot to gain because Serral was playing it very safe. The Muta count is still at 11 though, and only now the lair gets started for Dongre-gu. And don't forget, still no spore crawler in the main. Base is not even really connected by creep either.
Oh, actually, Serral ended up canceling +1 melee. Okay. I missed that earlier. I thought those Zerglings were already not killing things as fast as they normally do. That explains it. Probably squeezing out 1 more Muta.
Yeah.
Like, he's already at 15 Mutas. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, Phoenix versus Phoenix battles. The guy with more Mutas will usually win. It's going to be a while until DRG catches up.
But the one difference is that Dongregul does have 22 larvae saved up, and he has been outmining Serral, right? So it's kind of like playing Phoenix against Phoenix, but then you are richer and you've got 12 Stargates.
Yeah.
Then there is like maybe a way you can catch up. It's obviously wild, and I don't know if it was necessary for Dongregul, but he's going to try, and I applaud the effort. We'll see if he can get away with it. 18 mutas, though. That's a lot of mutas, that's for sure.
DRG's got 1400 in the bank. He's going to smash the piggy bank as soon as that Spire finishes, like you pointed out. He even saved up a whole lot of larvae.
Yeah, I mean, he can make 20 mutas at once. There is a Spore Crawler here that's going to try to pick up a couple of these mutas. At this point, Serral knows, obviously, because these mutalisks must have seen the Spire.
17 versus 17 very soon, Roddy. It's kind of ironic how we end up with the same amount. Banelings trying to run it over towards the third base. Gas income is everything when you're playing this sort of matchup, and now all of a sudden, Serral's the one mining 6 gases in DRG 4.
Yep, I actually think that +1 carapace on the ground, I think that's a little bit overkill for Dongregul. I would really prefer him just focus on mutas. If you want to win this game, it really all comes down to the mutalist, the mutas numbers, and the muta upgrades. I think you already have +1 melee on the ground. That's good enough. Serral's sharking around. It's 19 Mutalisk against 17 at this point. Also 11 queens though for Dongregul. Maybe he could do some sort of a queen walk, send the queen to the other side of the map and force Serral to fight not just the mutas of Dongregul but also the queens.
So I was just going to bring up that Serral was going +1 flyer attacks and DRG +1 armor, but he decided to change it out. So he's already researching it a little bit. He's like, you know what? No, I need to get that carapace upgrade for my Mutalisks. Makes a huge difference in the muta versus muta battles.
Yep, because everything bounces. And obviously the links, they're going to soak up the shots as well, so then carapace does help out there a little bit too. I mean, even though Dongregul goes down a couple workers, and he's down 4 Mutalisk, I think I like his position.
Yeah, his position is pretty good right now. I mean, honestly, it's a pretty even game.
Yeah.
Supply-wise, we're actually
dead
even.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Well, the queen count is nice, though. It's going to make it very hard for Yona to get any work done.
Yep. And let's not forget that these queens haven't done a whole lot lately. So you're not just looking at 11 queens with 1 transfuse. They're going to have a lot of transfusions available.
Okay. So the way that these bounces work, by the way, is that the Zerglings underneath also have a chance of soaking them. So that's why they're keeping the ground army close, too. So muta attacks, they attack once and then they bounce twice.
How often do you see a 15-minute Ling muta game being this even? The only advantage Dongregul really has is that he's got 1 upgrade more on the ground, and he does have a lot of queens. And if Serral takes a fight against 11 queens with this amount of energy, I have a hard time believing he's going to win the fight.
I think he should bring an Overseer, honestly. Start clearing out some of the creep here, because that creep is actually giving DRG that maneuverability right here for the queens.
You don't really think about that stuff in CBC, but I think that's a good point, Lowko.
I think it might be a bit too expensive, though. The Hive is going to finish up.
One
Viper. Like, 1 Viper is everything.
Yeah. Well, against Serral, I'd say 2 Vipers.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, Zerglings on the left side, very close to those Banelings.
Serral actually closing in on a maxed out as well.
53 Mutalisk on the side of Serral. Serral's got 53 mutas with 4 additional mutas going away. He's going to go up to 57 Mutalisks, but his opponent has successfully made it into Hive. I mean, I think this is the kind of game that really does kind of show that Serral is not a muta versus muta expert. Because how often do we cast a 15-minute game where Serral has been stuck on the exact same tech for minutes without really fighting, without really trading?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often.
He kind of needs to fight as well, right? Because these like queens are buying so much time. Serral's got to be thinking right now, okay, I've got no scouting info, but I kind of know that there's gonna be some sort of follow-up, either Infestors or Vipers. In both scenarios, he kind of needs to get something done before those units are, you know, out of energy.
He's gonna go for it right now. There are Vipers out on the map, but I don't know if they really have the energy yet. This may very well be Serral's best opportunity to potentially win this game. He is going to win this muta fight. That's inevitable. A lot of transfusions are going to go down. I don't know if you have a Spore Crawler to run back to. Where are those Vipers?
There's one all the way on the other side of the map for some reason. Okay, did not drop it. I think he may have just barely not had enough energy. Second Viper also gets picked off. A lot of the bounces are going on top of all the structures here as well.
Another Viper comes in and also doesn't drop the parasitic bomb. All 3 Vipers. The Zergling speed is on the way and he is still mining gas, right? Yeah, of course he's still mining gas. So Dongregul is incredibly serious about this. I don't know if Serral's reading this correctly at this point, because the Overlord is obviously not yet in the natural. Serral could have been reading this as just like, it's 12 pool expand, right? No, Yona, it's not. It's 12 pool, balls to the wall, we're going for it. Links, link speed, and a Baneling Nest all of one base.
This is good, though. This is good by Serral, not actually fighting on the low ground here. It's a bit of a gamble at this point. You kind of got to predict a little what your opponent is going for, and it turns out, Well, giving up the natural here is the right call.
The Baneling Nest.
Mm-hmm. Very quick Baneling Nest over here as well. Baneling Nest on the other side of the map too, though.
Yep. It's going to be a little bit quicker on the side of Dongaregu. You can obviously morph a couple of these Zerglings into
He
Banelings.
really wants that queen. Getting the queen would be nice, but even if you get it, though, it's so dangerous. Yeah.
All right, a couple of Zerglings got stuck there, I believe. The Broodlings trying to provide some additional DPS. 2 Links going down on the side of Dongaregu. Serral needs to be
yeah, he
somewhat
knows that
careful.
link speed is going to finish at some point, right? The timing here is, I guess, too far.
Wow.
He's just going to retake the base.
Serral doesn't respect anything.
No, that is a very disrespectful expo here. There's no way he can defend on the low ground.
Well, if it's only 2 Banelings, Dongaregu is running up behind it though, so the read is correct. The read is actually very correct. Serral is at least going to try, but he's going to be forced to cancel this hatchery. And it's only 2 Banelings. I don't think Serral should struggle against the 2 Banelings with Queens Banelings himself. Oh, Banelings going to finish.
Oh.
What? Dongaregu, do you know how crazy that was?
He's like, you know what? This is fine.
Mate, that was 0.01
Yeah. This entire series has been bit of a gamble. All right, well, this time around, you can't win 17 times in a row.
Eventually, the roulette wheel will spin 0.
There it is. All right. So, end result. Is it the end of the world here for DRG? No, not really, but you really do want to try and defend, or sorry, do a little bit more damage than that, ideally. Obviously, he did get the hatchery cancelled twice. He's making his own at home, so.
I love how they keep on doing completely different things. And then when the dust has settled, you're like, it's pretty even.
Yeah. That even supply count again.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Serral's Zergling speed is on the way. Serral's got 1 Baneling. He's on 19 drones. Dongarigu's on 21. Serral does have a couple of additional Zerglings, but Dongarigu's already producing them, and the hatch is going to be a little bit quicker on this side of Dongaregu. The one thing that Serral had is that he had 2 queens all along, so he's going to have a little more energy to work with. But TLDR, pretty even.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward right now for DRG because he doesn't really know exactly how many Zerglings there are for his opponent. So he's forced to make at least a couple more units at home. And
420 layers on both sides, mate.
There you go. Pretty much, well, it's... If you look at the progress bar in the center of the screen, it's literally identical. Crazy. DRG does have a couple of overlords out here.
Nidus versus Spire. I mean, this should be really good for Serral. So Serral going for one of the quickest possible Nidus networks. Dongaregu is obviously going to have a hard time scouting this. He's going to send 2 happy little Zerglings into the natural. And take a look at these links, but they do not get into the main. And Serral has actually grabbed a lot of drones. Can we take a look at the main base real quick of Serral?
Yeah,
look at that. He only has 8 drones left, so Serral has oversaturated his natural. So when Dongaregu scouts it, Dongaregu is like, oh, cool, you're Macron, just like I am. And we're both going to make Mutalisk, right? And Serral was like, wrong, nerd. I'm going to Nidus you. You got fooled.
Oh, I like this as well. Not Nidusing the main base. I mean, Nidusing the main base is fine, but it's easily countered. This is guaranteed to go up, yeah.
200 IQ by the great Jonas Satala. Look at this. Dongaregu wants to go up to 3 bases now.
The drone transfer there was actually really pretty.
Yeah, no, this was
Complete
perfect.
misread right here from DRG.
Fly is so proud of Serral right now, and Serral gets the flawless